Tonight, after an emotional day in court, a Duluth man pleads guilty to stabbing his wife to death.
Plus, as investigators search for answers in the helicopter crash that killed 9 people, including Kobe Bryant, we're getting local reaction into the impact the former NBA star had.
And looking ahead tonight, Duluth City Council will consider asking the state to pay tribute to a dark day in Duluth's history.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. Uncontrollable sobbing in court this morning as a Duluth man accused of stabbing his wife to death pleaded guilty.
Police arrested Ryan Yevgeski at his home in the Chester Park neighborhood last June. Officers found the body of the 40-year-old's wife, Nicole, with multiple stab wounds.
CBS3's Natalie Grant has been following this story for us tonight. Natalie, it sounds like his sentence could stray from usual state guidelines.
Yeah, that's right, Kristen and Tony. Yevgeski's guilty plea today was a part of a plea deal. Now, the deal calls for a possible prison sentence of more than 36 years, which is about 11 years shorter than Minnesota's sentencing guidelines. That's based on the fact that a child was there during the murder and what the county attorney's office called a cruel nature of the crime. Now, last June, police responded to reports of a 7-year-old screaming in an alley. Inside the home, officers found Nicole unresponsive, stabbed several times in her torso. During an interview with police, Yevgeski said that he had a horrible fight with his wife and, quote, lost it. In court this morning, Yevgeski told prosecutors that he did intend to kill Nicole that day. Yevgeski is charged with second-degree intentional murder, rather. In court today, Nicole's father read a statement saying he was disappointed the prosecution didn't seek first-degree murder charges. Yevgeski will be sentenced in March.
All right, thanks, Natalie. And one person is recovering from non-life-threatening injuries after a stabbing in 2 harbors over the weekend. The incident occurred on Sunday afternoon. Authorities say the people involved did know each other and the public is not in danger. It's still unclear whether anybody was taken into custody or how many people were involved. The stabbing is being investigated by the 2 Harbors Police Department. Fire
destroyed an Iron Range home this morning. It happened just before 1 in Aurora. 2 people did get out safely, but the home was destroyed and the garage was also damaged. The cause is still under investigation.
An update to a story we first brought you last February. A Minnesota logging company is now suing after they claim protesters caused $100,000 worth of damage to their logging equipment. You're looking at video of protesters at the site near Cloquet, which Stop Line 3 live streamed on Facebook last year. The video suggests protesters thought Chef Logging and Trucking was clearing a path for the Enbridge Line 3 pipeline. Company spokespeople told us last year they were doing a job for the county. The Marcel, Minnesota company claims the protesters caused more than $100,000 in damage and harassed their employees. The Stop Line 3 group previously denied being involved in that protest. At least one protester is already facing criminal charges in relation to that incident.
The Fond du Lac Band is rolling out a new policy governing hunting and accessing their land. The band is now going to start issuing monthly and annual permits to the general public for access to tribal lands. Monthly permits will cost $25 and yearly will cost $100. Band members can use their Fond du Lac ID as a permit. Now, band leaders say the change is to uphold its heritage of resource stewardship. To review the policy in its entirety, you can head on over to our website, cbs3duluth.com.
Test results for 2 Minnesotans being watched for the coronavirus came back negative. The 2 patients were being held in isolation. At this point, 5 cases of coronavirus have been confirmed in the U.S., while at least 110 patients are being monitored. Minnesota state health officials say providers across the state are urged to report any possible cases of the virus.
All right, Dave joins us for a quick look at the weather. Some clouds out there, Dave. Seems like they've just been hanging for days.
They've been hanging for days. Yeah, Saturday afternoon, maybe for 5 minutes, there was a little blip of blue in the sky. That may be all we see until perhaps the weekend coming up ahead. It's going to be cloudy for the most part, even though there's a high pressure system standing off just outside of range, looking at our region. It's not going to do much to clear up the sky. So bottom line, it's going to be cloudy tonight. And then tomorrow we get a chance for some flurries, and really not from that low pressure system to our west. That's still a little too far away. It's going to be more lake influence than anything else that kicks up a chance for a little bit of light snow for tomorrow. So our Tuesday day planner says This warm spell is going to dial back a little bit for a couple of days. We'll have a low temp around 13 in the Twin Ports tomorrow morning. Afternoon finish will be around 23, and that's closer to normal than the past few days indeed. 30% chance of flurries in the afternoon, if not indirect from the low pressure system. Where are we getting them? Yeah, lake influence, which means there's still a low to the west to bring us more snow later this week, which we'll show you with the 7-day forecast in a few more minutes.
Investigators are combing through the wreckage of Sunday's helicopter crash that killed Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and 7 others. They're looking for any clue that could explain why the chopper slammed into a hillside in foggy weather. Bryant and his party were en route from his home base in Orange County to his Mamba Sports Academy in Thousand Oaks. It is unclear when investigators will have an answer, but it could take several days at a minimum.
Locally, Kobe Bryant's death is still something many have not processed.
Ever since the crash, tributes to the athletic legend have been pouring in across the nation.
And today, CBS3's Ryan Campo heard from local coaches and athletes on what Kobe meant to them.
Kobe's mindset was be better today than you were yesterday and be better tomorrow than you were the day before. Words to live by, especially when life is so fragile. A moment you will look back on and remember exactly what you were doing when the news broke that Kobe Bryant had died. Bryant was one of 9 people who were killed in the crash, including his 13-year-old daughter Gianna in Calabasas, California. When firefighters reached the scene, they had found the brush fire and debris field from the crash in a quarter-mile in size. Kobe played his entire 20-year career with the Los Angeles Lakers. He retired in 2016, a 5-time NBA champion, 2-time Finals MVP, and the all-time leading scorer in Lakers franchise history. His Mamba mentality is one that Sparks Academy basketball program here in Duluth strives to see every day from their players.
And that culture is what we try to instill here with the kids. So I think Kobe, what really hits home with people is he was the iconic figure. He was the symbol of what America really is about, and what youth sports can be about, what professional sports should be about, and everything, you know, off the court as well.
Kobe is survived by his wife and 3 daughters, Natalia, Bianca, and Capri, who was just born in July. Now, coming up at 10, we will hear from one local player who says Kobe's death really hits home for him.
All right, thanks, Ryan. City leaders hope the state will help recognize the 100-year anniversary of a dark day in Duluth. This June marks a century since 3 black men were accused of raping a white woman. They were later hung in downtown Duluth. The city is planning its own events to recognize Elias Clayton, Elmer Jackson, and Isaac McGee. But Duluth City councilors will weigh in tonight on whether to ask the state to pay tribute as well. They'll also consider whether to support adding a statewide ballot initiative to remove a reference to slavery and involuntary servitude from the Minnesota Constitution. If approved, both these items would be included in Duluth's 2020 legislative priorities. The session starts February 11th.
The Duluth School Board is asking for your help in finding the next superintendent for the school district. From 5:30 to 6:30 tonight, the school board will be hosting an open meeting at Denfeld High School so community members can give feedback on what qualities they would like to see in a new superintendent. Current Superintendent Bill Gronseth is stepping down at the end of his contract in June. If you cannot attend tonight's meeting, there is an online survey where you can share your thoughts. The board hopes to have a final candidate by early April. Coming up tonight at 10, we'll hear from parents and school board members on what they are looking for in a candidate.
It's the second day of opening presentations from the president's legal team in the Senate impeachment trial. Now, new revelations from one of the president's former top advisors could threaten their arguments. The New York Times reported former National Security Advisor John Bolton writes in his upcoming book that the president told him he wanted to, quote, continue freezing $391 million in security assistance to Ukraine until officials there helped with investigations into Democrats, including rival Joe Biden. President Trump is denying the allegations, but Democrats say the revelation bolsters their call for new witness testimony. GOP senators have told CBS News they believe Bolton is disgruntled and he is just trying to sell a book.
Well, back here at home, part of Duluth's Lake Walk will be closed this week. Crews are installing new lights from Leith Erickson Park to the stairs leading up to the Portland Malt Shop. The closure will start on Wednesday with hopes of wrapping things up by Friday.
As demolition winds down, Essentia Health's $800 million expansion entered a new phase today. The first of 3 massive tower cranes arrived in downtown Duluth. Well, it hasn't been set up just yet. Eventually, that crane will stand 250 feet above Superior Street and will help Essentia start building up its Vision Northland project. Essentia officials say the other 2 cranes will arrive in March or April. The new hospital tower's foundation should be in place by this spring. Teachers at Proctor Schools learn how to make sure every student gets fair treatment in the classroom. Today, the district held diversity training for every member of its faculty and staff. The program is designed to help educators understand how their implicit bias plays a role in the way they work with different students. It also discussed poverty, equity, and diversity in the student population. Organizers say they want to make sure they're serving every child.
What we really want to have happen is that, all of us become more aware of how we interact and how we better serve our families, our communities, and especially our students.
Ecklein says around 200 staff members attended Monday's meeting.
Big news for artists on the Iron Range. The new Hobby Lobby officially opened its doors today. The store is in Virginia. Their grand opening was at 9 o'clock this morning with a ribbon cutting. It's located in the Thunderbird Mall, and this is the 20th Hobby Lobby location in Minnesota.
Still to come on Live Local CBS3, we have a winner. We'll take you to the Bear Grease 120 finish line, where we'll hear from the top 3 women.
Normal low temp this time of year is 2 above. After a warm spell tomorrow morning, some towns will be fairly close to that, but for how long? That we'll let you know with the 7-day forecast right after the break.
The bargain shop.
When you want new furniture with styles that are nice, and we've made very special buys that are always the right price.
Now in all home furniture stores.
Got a big stop at the bargain shop.
When I went to Aspen Dental, they asked me, "What's wrong?" I go, "I had rotting teeth in my mouth." My fiance hadn't seen me smile in 10 years. I have a child on the way here in the next 5 months. I would like to be able to smile in his first picture when he's born. They said we can do that. If I would have known that I was going to be 50 times happier with dentures, I would have fixed it before.
At Aspen Dental, we're all about yes. Like yes, dentures start at $3.99 per arch. And yes to a 90-day denture money-back guarantee. Don't wait. Book at aspendental.com or call today.
At Anytime Fitness, we know that healthy doesn't happen on its own. It happens with the right help.
At the right times.
In the right ways. With an ally who listens.
With coaching.
Team workouts.
And community. To help you get to your goals.
So let's do this thing. Whatever that thing is.
Let's tune out this. And turn up this.
And let's make healthy happen.
For you.
Celebrating over 80 years of fun, it's the last Ski Iron and Finish Sliding Festival at Loon Lake Community Center in Palo, Minnesota. It all begins Friday, January 31st at 6:30 p.m. with the Queen coronation and continues Saturday, February 1st with the Crope Soup breakfast and basketball, followed by a last Ski Iron and dinner at noon, sliding, free dog sled rides, carriage rides, and more. The fun continues Sunday, February 2nd with the ecumenical church service, followed by more fun and entertainment with live music from Monroe Crossing starting at 1:30. The last Ski Iron and Sliding Festival at Loon Lake Community Center in Palo, Minnesota.
Our shower was like 20 years old and it was just in the worst condition. We had a new shower put in and it was acrylic and there's hardly any cleaning compared to the other one. We decided to call Bath Planet and Wayne did contact us and he made sure that it was a good time for us.
He came here at 8 o'clock in the morning. Job was done by 4 o'clock.
I'm so glad that we chose Bath Planet.
For a free estimate, call Bath Planet today at 218-228-0435. When you want a great deal on mattresses,
Got a big stop at the bargain shop.
How about a twin mattress for $58 or a queen mattress for just $149?
Gotta make a stop at the bargain shop.
In all home furniture stores.
Have you done this before?
No, I haven't.
So we're going to wear our fire-resistant clothing.
Is it potential with a fire?
New Undercover Boss tonight at 9/8 Central on CBS.
Survivor, Winners at War, premieres February 12th on CBS. Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, we haven't seen much sun in the last week. Like I mentioned, there was a little blip of it on Saturday, but You don't really need the sun to have beautiful conditions to eye up around our Northland. Around the Ely area here today, yeah, thanks to a little bit of freezing fog last night, the trees were glazed, well, better than donuts because they don't have any calories. Beautiful picture despite the gray sky. Well, that warm weather that brought images like this is going to get a little bit cooler for a couple of days. Daytime highs, well, they'll still be a hair warmer than normal, but for the next 2 days, overnight lows will be back where they should be, which may be a little brisk, and so folks may have to bundle up tonight and tomorrow night as well. How about right now? Nah, not really. 17 above is warmer than normal. At the airport right now, 84% for the relative humidity, and northwest winds running 7 miles per hour. Barometric pressure, 1,020 millibars. Right now, current temperatures really run quite a range. We'll start towards Watersmeet where it's 27, 23 Ironwood, low 20s from Ashland to Hayward to Solon Springs up to Superior. Then upper teens once you start creeping into Minnesota, 19 Moose Lake and Barnum, 17 for Hermantown and for Twig, 18 Two Harbors, 15 Hibbing, 15 International Falls, down to 10 up the Gunflint here. So cooler air is creeping in from the northwest underneath the cloudier sky, which is going to linger. I think it's going to be a few more days before we get another peek at the sun. So the cloud cover over our area right now on the thinner side, not showing up too great on the satellite map, but getting kicked out of the clouds. Every so often here we're seeing a couple of snow showers pop up close to Marquette and a little bit up towards Thunder Bay as well. Come tomorrow, there's a chance we'll get a little bit of this flurry activity around the rest of our region, but really not from these two low pressure systems coming in from the west. No, we're caught in between pressure systems again. Got a low or two to the west, and we've got a high up to the north, and none of them are charging into the region. So we're again in that netherworld where it's dry for the most part, but still a cloudy sky. Although I do think things are going to get perhaps a little bit wetter around the area. A couple of flurries. We might be able to vaguely pin on the front end of these low pressure systems coming from the west. But otherwise, the circulation around this high just might help create a little lake effect. And that's the flurry chance we're focusing on here for our Tuesday. Forecast now tonight, well, it says it could get as cold as 6 for International Falls and as warm as 14 for Park Point. Swinging into Wisconsin and Michigan, well, the temperatures will be warmer there. The lows run 15 to 18. Cloudy in Wisconsin, maybe some lake effect flurries for the upper peninsula. Otherwise, the rest of us should be cloudy but dry. Then for tomorrow, 40% flurry chance. Wisconsin, Michigan, high temps 25 to 28 degrees. And in Minnesota, it's a 30% flurry chance with highs 21 inland to 25 by the lake. And if this is the cool spell here, with chillier temperatures Tuesday, Wednesday morning, well, the daytime highs still run warmer than normal, about 23 to even 34 degrees. The normal's around 20. Precip chances just light ones here. Tuesday, then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, followed by Sunday when we might finally get to see a day's worth of sun.
That will be nice. I think that will be well deserved. But I will say, the temperatures could be a lot worse. We are in the midst of January, so I'm good with it.
I'll take mid-20s.
Yeah.
All right, Tony, you have them.
All right.
I'll send you the bill.
Thanks, Dave.
You're welcome.
The mushers competing in the Bear Grease 120 crossed the finish line early this morning. An award ceremony took place at the Trestle Inn this afternoon for all those who competed in the 120-mile race. This year, the top 3 finishers were all women. Third place was Steph Love. Rita Wessler came in second place, and first place went to Aaron Showweiler. The mushers said this year the warmer weather played a big role. The dogs needed a lot of hydration. First place winner Aaron Showweiler says this race was exciting because she had big shoes to fill.
This is my first year, so I got married last year at Bear Grease, so it's my first year as like the whole Showweiler family. Chad and Martha have been quite the dynamic duo for years, so it was kind of nerve-wracking to be on the runners of a really, really good team.
Tonight at 10, we'll hear from the top 3 winners about their journey. And by the way, the full marathon is still in progress. Mushers are expected to start crossing the finish line tomorrow evening.
The Arrowhead 135 started today. Race organizers say it's one of the 50 hardest races on Earth. Here's a look at this morning's race start, which officially began at 7 a.m. It's a 135-mile race on the Arrowhead State Snowmobile Trail. People run, bike, or cross-country ski from International Falls to Fortune Bay Casino. Organizers say the leaders are expected to finish around 9 o'clock tonight. quite the
That
race.
is quite
Yeah.
the race. Wow, good for them.
Couldn't pay me to go out there
Yeah.
and run
Not
in
in
the
the
elements.
snow, yeah.
Dedication.
Not at no. We're talking indoor sports. Big weekend for UMD hockey. We're going to have a rankings check-in next, plus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Remember the life and legacy that is Kobe Bryant. That's coming up.
The 2020 Honda Rubicon at RJ Sport and Cycle.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Toyota. New state-of-the-art dealership. Same President's Award-winning service. KohlerToyota.com.
The bargain shop.
When you want new furniture with styles that are nice, and we've made very special buys that are always the right price.
Now in all home furniture stores.
Gotta make a stop at the bargain shop.
If it's time for adventure, then consider a two-wheeled ride from the place with the best selection of new and used Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Harley-Davidson Sports Center. We offer local, low-rate financing and, for a limited time, make no payments for 90 days, even if your credit is somewhere in the middle. Visit Harley-Davidson Sports Center, Highway 53 and Stebner Road, Duluth, or hdduluth.com for details.
Harley-Davidson Sports Center. The dealer that makes the difference.
Friday, March 6th, in the Otter Creek Event Center, Black Bear Casino Resort brings you a very special live appearance from the happy medium, Kim Russo. Star of the #1 hit series, The Haunting of, TV host, best-selling author, lecturer, and most sought-after medium worldwide. An evening of live readings and audience interaction, helping to achieve a more balanced and peaceful life. Tickets available at the Players Club or online at blackbearcasinoresort.com. Make the Bear your place.
Vaping has been declared a national epidemic among youth. 1 in 3 high schoolers vape in northeastern Minnesota.
My child started having seizures from vaping. There's still so many unknown chemicals.
One vape cartridge has as much nicotine as at least 2 packs of cigarettes.
My child was hospitalized with severe lung injuries.
They said it was no big deal.
My child said it was no risk.
That it was under control.
That's what my child said. But what could I have said? Get the facts and talk to your child today.
At Super One Foods, we go to great measures to deliver you with top quality meat every day. Try our all-natural boneless, skinless chicken breast, only $1.66 per pound. And get Black Angus T-bone steak, only $6.96 per pound. Plus, we provide the best of the best in fresh produce. Get 2 pints of fresh blueberries for just $5. And 6 ounces of Driscoll's raspberries, just 2 for $5. Through all that we do, we've got you in mind. Super One Foods, serving you lower prices and better choices.
America's Most Watched Network. Tonight, starting at 7, only on CBS3 Duluth. Then, stay tuned for CBS3 News at 10. When severe weather hits, tune to CBS3.
Tonight at 10, we'll be out here in the storm.
For up-to-date coverage morning and night.
Stay away from here.
Live local weather coverage on CBS3 Duluth.
Home Sleep Express has gone purple. Now you can test and buy a famous purple mattress at Home Sleep Express. Sleep cooler and more comfortable on the mattress that broke the internet. And get free delivery, setup, plus no interest financing. The famous purple mattress, now at Home Sleep Express.
Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
It was quite the exciting weekend of hockey over at Amsoil Arena. A sold-out crowd on Saturday night and a split series with one of the best teams in the entire country. That just so happens to be one of the Bulldogs' biggest rivals in North Dakota. After Friday night's comeback 7-4 win over the Fighting Hawks, the Bulldogs drew a crowd of 7,771 fans on Saturday night. That's the new record at Amsoil Arena, and on the weekend as a whole, it's the biggest record for a college hockey series at Amsoil. Despite a narrow 3-2 loss that night, goaltender Hunter Shepard set an NCAA record in his 105th consecutive start, saving 20 of 23 shots. Now, next up, the Bulldogs' tough schedule continues. They head out west to take on 4th-ranked Denver, a team they split with at home back in November. The UMD women's hockey team remains at number 9 in the polls after their tie and win at St. Cloud State in Division 3. The UW Superior men dropped 2 spots to number 12 after being swept at UW Eau Claire. The Blue Golds grabbed first place in the WIAC and are up to number 2 in the country. For the second time this year, Alex Illikainen, the UMD Hoops senior forward, has been named the Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference Northern Division Player of the Week. This comes after a weekend on the road, averaging 21.5 points and 6 rebounds a game. UMD swept MSU Moorhead and Northern State. It's the Grand Rapids natives' second NSIC Player of the Week nod this year. UMD is back on the road at Winona State and Upper Iowa this weekend. There aren't really many words left to be said that haven't already been said about Kobe Bryant, who passed away suddenly and shockingly yesterday afternoon. Downtown Minneapolis, Minnesota, the marquee at the Target Center is honoring the memory of Kobe Bryant and his daughter, where the Timberwolves will take on Sacramento tonight. Head coach Ryan Saunders gave his thoughts on the legacy that is Kobe Bryant.
It's one of those things, one of those moments that you always remember where you are when news like that hits. He was the, the standard of, work, the standard of competitiveness, and just the example, him on the court when no matter what he endured, he was always going to find a way to push through. I mean, our thoughts and prayers obviously go out to, the Bryant family. I can't imagine, the pain of losing Gianna as well.
Timberwolves take on the Sacramento Kings tonight at home at 7:00 p.m. And in additional news, ESPN will be airing Kobe's final game tonight, which was on April 13th, 2016, when he historically dropped 60 points against the Utah Jazz. Tomorrow's Lakers-Clippers game has been postponed. There really aren't any words. That's just so shocking. I think as a sports community, we're in shock, and we're grieving and we're mourning, because this was just so unexpected, and he was such an icon.
And I mean, 9 people died in that crash. Just devastating across the board.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
All right. Thanks, Kelly. Well, the Duluth Air Show organizers are on cloud 9 today. That's because they won a special industry award for the 6th time. This time, the International Council of Air Show's pinnacle honor was for their waste reduction initiatives. Air Show officials say this past summer, the event recycled 50% more than in years past. The Air Show will be back in town this July, featuring the Air Force Thunderbirds.
All right, Dave, I feel like I haven't seen the sun in about a week. Is that it's gonna keep lingering, isn't it?
It's about that long, and it's going to be gone that much longer as well. It's a cloudy week ahead, warmer than normal for the most part. Normal high is 20, normal low is 2. We'll get close to the normal low Tuesday, Wednesday morning, perhaps. Daytime highs still bubbling a little bit over the normal. Precip chances, we get a 30% shot for flurries on Tuesday, and then another round of light snow Thursday through Saturday, followed by sunshine finally on Sunday.
All right.
We'll look forward to that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you back here at 10.